One of these toys can damage your dog's teeth. It can actually break them. One of my viewers asked me to explain a little bit about dog dental hygiene. So I was thinking, dog dental hygiene and behavior, how does that actually connect? And it does. It perfectly does. So here goes. Chewing behavior is a very normal thing for a dog. Sometimes, even though it's normal, it becomes an unwanted behavior because the dog might start destroying stuff and chew stuff like your shoes or even the door or the remote control, and you don't like it. I mean, I get it. I don't like it. The problem with behaviors that are normal but are just not acceptable by us is that it's kind of hard to stop, especially when we're dealing with something that rewards the dog. So usually what we will try to do is substitute those things that we don't want a dog to destroy or chew with things that we do want them to chew. And also, sometimes to some extent, chew toys can also reduce the formation of plaque or tartar on the teeth or reduce the risk of getting gingivitis or infection of the gums. And that can save you tons of money later. So before I go into the dental stuff, a quick thing that's important to know about the chewing behavior is that sometimes it's not just because of the dog trying to chew things normally because of a need. Sometimes it's actually secondary to anxiety. So you do need to figure out what's causing it. There's a big difference between a puppy that's doing it, even in front of you, and a dog that's chewing the walls and doors when you're gone. What I learned in vet school by a dental specialist was that any toy, any chew toy or anything that your dog is actually chewing, and that can be bones, that can be rawhide, that can be rocks outside, anything that the dog chews and is too hard can break the enamel of the teeth, the covering of the teeth that is outside. And that cover is actually very, very hard, so it's not easy to break it. Problem is that when it is broken, it allows infections and other issues to go into the pulp, into the inside of the tooth and basically destroy it, causing a lot of pain. So how do you know if something is too hard? Well, if you take a toy and you press your nail into it, not too hard, and it doesn't leave a mark, it means it's too hard. So if your nail can't leave a mark on it, don't use it. So for example, this toy can break your dog's teeth. On the other hand, something like this is a great distraction and it might even help your dog with the chewing habits and stuff like that. It's very, very squishy, it's very easy, but it is hard enough so it doesn't actually break and your dog can't really tear pieces out of it. Things like this or conch toys, they have an extra value to them because you can actually put treats or something like that, peanut butter inside, and then your dog is trying to kind of like get to it, which extends their interest in using them. Another safe toy that might not really help with dental issues is things like stuffed animals with or without a squeaker inside. They are soft and dogs do like hunting them. Problem is that in many cases, if your dog is very motivated, they can definitely tear them apart and start swallowing pieces and even the squeaker that's inside, leading to a whole different issue, and you don't want that, trust me. So if you are using something like that, only under supervision. And quickly before I go back to explaining what else you should do to prevent dental issues, I just want to remind you that it's still ongoing. The giveaway for these hats is still ongoing. All you need to do is be a subscriber and comment down below. Because it's completely random, the more you comment, the higher the chance that you will get the hat. And when I say the more you comment, I mean the more videos you comment on. Don't comment like 50 times. That's not gonna help. Once the channel reaches 5,000 subscribers, which is right around the corner, I will randomly choose a winner and I will announce it at the end of a video. And it's open worldwide. You don't only need to be in the US to participate. So how should you actually prevent dental issues in dogs? Well, not surprisingly, it's exactly the same as in people. Brush your dog's teeth. How frequent? Well, at least once a day. And I know it is actually a shocker for a lot of my clients because they think that, well, brushing the teeth of their dog once a week should be helpful, right? Well, no, it's not actually doing anything if you're only doing it once in a blue moon. The reason you want to do it once a day is because the bacteria that actually forms that plaque, that forms that tartar, that bacteria will settle in and start doing it within 24 hours. Once it started creating that plaque, the only way to remove it is by doing an actual dental, and that's done under anesthesia. We would scale the teeth, so we would remove that plaque and we'll polish the teeth. And although technically it's pretty safe, it is a procedure that's done under full anesthesia. So of course, if we can avoid it, why not? Also, it can be really expensive, especially if we get to the point that because there's so much tartar, there's so much plaque, very severe gingivitis, or there's infection underneath the gum line that actually starts decaying the teeth and ruins the roots of the teeth, then avoiding it is so much easier than treating it once it already happened. Now, if you read things like, yeah, there are some groomers that will do it without sedating the dog, I'm sorry, but that's a complete BS. They can do it, yes. They will do maybe only the outside. They can't go underneath the gum line. But dogs are really afraid of that, and it really causes a lot of pain and distress. So not only they can't achieve the same results as a dog that's having a dental done by a veterinarian and under full anesthesia, they're actually causing a lot of stress to the dog, making it maybe impossible for you to later on bring them to the groomer or even brushing the dog's teeth yourself. And it can actually be dangerous because if there's a bleeding or any other issues that happen while they're doing it, now who is going to help? Now it becomes an emergency. But not all dogs like having their mouth touched or their teeth brushed. So like anything with behavior of dogs, you need to do things gradually and with a lot of reinforcement. My recommendation is to buy one of those toothbrushes that go over the finger. And by the way, I'm gonna put some links below to Amazon just as an example. They are affiliate links, so technically if you buy the products, I will get some kickback while you're not really paying more. But I just want you to see some examples of things you can use. So the toothbrush that goes over the finger usually costs like $3, $4, $5 or something like that. It's not really hard. It's silicone based usually, so it's very easy to clean. So what I will have owners do is to actually start when the dog is a puppy. But even if the dog is already an adult and already doesn't like his teeth to be brushed, I say get something that your dog really likes. For example, peanut butter or some, let's say, a long-lasting treat. Hold it in your hand. The best way is to hold it in a way that the dog can't just bite it. So for example, having a treat just poking out between your fingers, and hold it in front of your dog's mouth. Of course, if it's safe enough. While your dog is kind of licking, then you start brushing the teeth, and you mostly want to do the outside of the teeth. You don't need to like pry your dog's mouth open and do the inside. If your dog does let you do it, then great, but I would recommend at least doing the outside. And again, once a day. And it doesn't need to be a treat. If the dog likes chewing on a specific toy, you can also hold that toy. Now, sometimes just doing it right away might be too much, so you might need to do it more gradually. So for example, just showing the toothbrush and a treat and giving the dog the treat without even touching him. And later on, just giving the treat and just gently touching the face, but not trying to touch the teeth. And baby steps, getting to the point of actually brushing the teeth. Now, just so you know, dental issues, dental disease really hurt. Even if the dog is not showing signs of pain, sometimes I will have patients that come for kind of like a general dental cleaning because they just have a lot of tartar, and the owners will later report that the dog is all of a sudden behaving like he's 5 years younger. He's like more energetic, he's more playful, and they kept thinking that the decrease in energy and viability is just because the dog is getting older. But no, it was because he was hurting. Dogs are good at hiding pain, so you might not always see them scream the second that they're eating, and you might not see bleeding or issues eating. I hope this was helpful. If you have more questions or would like me to explain other things, feel free to comment down below and I will do my best to respond or even make another video about it. I really appreciate you watching, and if you're interested, why not watch this video too?